After wrapping up overtime work, I glanced at the pinned announcement in the company group chat before bed. It said, "Please send your family members' contact info in the format of a name and phone number by midnight tonight." Half asleep, I sent Vincent and then powered off phone and went to sleep. The next day, I almost got blasted by messages when I turned on my phone. The scariest one was from my pinned contact, Vincent, with a screenshot asking, "Mandy, did you say I'm your family member in the company group?" I trembled as I checked my messages. After my message, the entire group chat went silent, not a single message from last night onward. I got a ton of DMs from curious coworkers, even the ones I barely spoke to. "What's up? Secret CEO's wife? Mandy, what happened last night? Mandy, when did you move up? Vincent has a girlfriend, or did you?" I rolled around in bed, half in despair. I was so tired last night, barely thinking straight. Vincent and his number are basically imprinted in my DNA since I've been his secretary's slave for 3 years now. Quickly browsing through the messages, I cautiously replied, focusing on not losing my job, "Vincent, it's totally a misunderstanding. I'll clarify right away." Then I posted this in the group chat, "Sorry, I wasn't wearing my glasses last night and mistakenly responded to the announcement." The chat's still dead quiet. More DMs bombarded me. "Whoa, got schooled by Vincent? No need to explain, totally saw you two as close." Vincent's message popped up again, "Get to my office, now." Heart pounding, I went in. 3 years as Vincent's secretary, never a work error, if you count last night's mix-up as one. Colleagues looked at me with odd glances, trying to decode the story without needing an explanation. I genuinely messed up the notice, really. Headed straight to Vincent's office, he's there, with his gold-rimmed specs, fiddling with a Rubik's Cube and reviewing his notebook. A real-life CEO out of a novel, handsome and intimidating when emotionless. I was planning to ignore last night's mess and asked, "Vincent, any schedule changes today?" He tapped his fingers on the desktop, signaling me to sit. "Mandy, since when did you start imagining I'm your family?" I almost fell off my chair, blushing. "Vincent, really, a mistake. Worked late, I was dead tired." "You blaming me for your overtime?" No, it's because my own inefficiency. Working late was my choice. I was groveling hard. I want to keep this high-paying job. If inefficiency lasts 3 years, you doubting my employment judgment? Darn, is Vincent trying to mess with me today? I surely can't doubt his decisions. That'd mean questioning my own performance too. As a pro secretary, boss's word is gospel. Very seriously, I replied, "Sorry, Vincent. I shouldn't have imagined you as my family member. Apologies for any damage to your reputation. I accept responsibility for my mistake." Firm stance when wrong. This tactic's rare, but efficient every time. As expected, Vincent cleared his throat. "Enough, let's cover today's agenda." Relieved inside, I reported the schedule, feeling surprisingly upbeat. Vincent canceled a Saturday business luncheon, making me even happier. I can attend the company outing. It's one you can bring a guest to, and as a single gal, of course I signed up for a guy. Come Saturday, up earlier than workday, all dolled up. But seeing Vincent next to me dampened my spirits. "Vincent, why are you here?" Signed up for the event on my behalf, as part of the company, gotta join in. No words for this guess, it's unavoidable. Ladle on the flattery, how thoughtful of Vincent, hangs with the crew. Secretly wishing he doesn't ruin my joy. He intensely scanned me, making me uneasy. Okay, I admit today's look is a smidge better, still don't deserve this prolonged gaze. "Mandy. Huh. You've got lipstick on your teeth. Is jumping out of the car still an option?" To the hotel for the outing, I feigned sleep. Admin folks stuttered about not preparing Vincent's room. They didn't know he'd show up. Good shooing him off, 'cause he only stays in presidential suites. "It's cool, I won't stay long," Vincent said. Heart nearly raced off my chest. Admin relieved, gathering for the event. Despite the team building tag, it's mainly buffet, hot springs, games, and leisure. When dismissed, Vincent noticed me idling instead of heading to my room. There's no way he's following me to my room, really clarifying would be impossible. I'll stay with Vincent in the lobby first. He didn't mind, long legs striding ahead. I hurriedly followed when I heard a familiar call, "Mandy?" Both Vincent and I turned. Knowing it's me, he rushed over. Seeing him, I flashed back to college. My sign-up reason was hoping to bump into him, been praying for it. Leo. Long time no see. Leo, my senior by 2 grades, my unsaid college crush. Leo stopped by me, nodded to Vincent. "Vincent's here too." Vincent acknowledged, eyes flickered between me and Leo, senior and junior. Why the side I like were misbehaving? I explained Leo's 2 years my senior. Vincent nodded, gave us space, went to the lobby. Finally, with Vincent temporarily out the way, reduces any misinterpreted vibes with Leo. The next second, Leo shot me a question. "You two got something going on?" I quickly denied it 3 times. "No way, not at all, stop making things up." Leo mentioned that Vincent looked at him a bit unfriendly, so I rushed to explain that Vincent always has a grumpy face. Leo just chuckled and we kept walking and talking. Turns out, he'd broken up with his college girlfriend and is single now. He's single, I'm single, isn't that? He. Suddenly, my phone buzzes. I checked it and almost tossed my phone. It was a picture from Vincent, secretly snapped of me and Leo walking together, me looking up at Leo with a big grin, while Leo was gesturing something with his hands. Then another message popped up. "Stop laughing, I can see your tonsils." I hammered out a response, "Thank you very much." Next, I put my phone on silent, wishing I could mute Vincent too. That little episode didn't matter much. Leo and I kept chatting. When he offered to take me to lunch at a hotel restaurant, I happily agreed. The team building activities that morning were incredibly boring. I planned to hide in my room and nap, but Vincent called my room directly. Can't shake him off. Why must I deal with my boss on my weekend? I reluctantly bid my comfy bed goodbye and rolled up to Vincent, joining the group event. Spotting Vincent from afar, his casual attire made him appear even taller. With his hair smoothed down, gone was his usual workday sternness, replaced by a softer look. Such an attractive guy. I've had feelings before, but he has a girlfriend, so those feelings didn't grow beyond a crush. Running into an old friend and now you're ignoring calls? I quickly checked my phone to find 3 missed calls, 3 missed voice messages. Forgot I muted it. I had my phone on silent last night and forgot to switch it back. Vincent didn't call me out, just kept walking ahead. This was something I liked about him. He could see through all your little tricks but chose not to say anything, a person you could get along with. By the time we arrived at the team event, it was about to start. A colleague from the admin team told us we were in the second group to compete. I asked what the competition involved. The colleague said it was a 3-legged race. I inquired when I signed up for such a childish activity, a game for kids, why on earth we are playing it at our age. Though, I didn't dare voice the second part out loud. Vincent answered for the colleague, while your phone was on silent. The word silent was emphasized a bit more. I went through the 100+ unread company group messages and found the admin asking for participants for the 3-legged race. Vincent, who never speaks in the group, had replied with a 1. Then there was a pause as people hesitated before joining in. Now, it's too late to argue. I asked him why he didn't choose another activity like badminton or rock climbing. Why this one? Vincent casually responded, because this one's the quickest to finish. Fine, your time is precious, after all. But, when I found out second place gets a floor cleaner, I got excited. This brand of floor cleaner has been in my cart for 2 months, waiting for the big sale. This way, I could take it home for free. I whispered to Vincent, let's aim for second place, huh? Vincent glanced at the prize table, confused. First place is a Chanel bag, don't you want that? Of course, I want it. What woman doesn't like bags? But more than a bag that makes me happy, I want a cleaner so that after a long day, I can come home and not have to tidy up. I shook my head firmly. Second place is good enough. When it was our turn to compete, we both bent down to tie our legs, and our heads clashed. Vincent had already tied our legs before I fully recovered from the knock. There was a circle of colleagues around us, just watching the spectacle, missing only some popcorn. Vincent's 6 feet 1 inch, I'm 5 feet 4 inches, making it really hard for me to keep up. It felt like I was dragged the entire way. Whether he tried too hard or others just didn't try, we ended up in first. What happened to second place? Where's my floor cleaner? Vincent looked at my near-tear expression, saying, I tried really hard to control my speed, you know. Oh, really? Was dragging me like a rag doll your idea of controlling your speed? Quite the effort indeed. The admin told the first place winner to go up and say a few words, immediately handing the mic to Vincent. Vincent passed it to me, saying he was just helping me, and that first place was mine. What could I say? Could I mention I also wanted the floor cleaner? I told everyone to eat and have fun, then walked off with my bag while others moved on to the next activity. Got the bag, but pulling a long face. Does it burn? Nah, it's just not practical. I thought, I'll buy that cleaner tonight, no waiting for the sale. Since I really want that cleaner, I heard there might be one as an end-of-year reward for outstanding employees. Vincent noticed my longing for the cleaner, trying to console me. But that's got nothing to do with me. I've been here 2 years and never got the Outstanding Employee Award. This is because at the final evaluation, my direct supervisor Vincent only rated me as good. A good rating means no award, though maybe he feels bad and gives me a New Year bonus bigger than 3 months of my salary. With that bonus dangling like a carrot before a mule, I work even harder. But will you mark me just good again this year? Vincent thought for a moment. Depends on your performance. Great, now I can't bring myself to tell him he's welcome to head back and I'd manage the afternoon's activities alone. Vincent just gave me a sweet offer, so I've got to accept it willingly. Oh no, lunchtime with Leo is near, and Vincent shows no sign of leaving. I'm trying to keep a pleasant face amidst my impatience. Vincent, it's lunchtime. Are you eating here or heading back into the city for lunch? The steak at the Western restaurant here is pretty good. Let's go. I am going for the steak, but not with you. It's a group activity. Isn't it kind of rude to ditch everyone and eat alone? Vincent thought about it and changed his mind. You're right, let's go for the buffet. This guy is definitely planning to stay. Then Leo came over and said it's time to eat and kindly invited Vincent to join. Vincent looked at me with eyes that could pierce through me. Then just as politely asked, it's a group activity, isn't it rude to dine alone? Wow, this guy holds a grudge. He's using my own words against me. Capitalists are indeed sneaky. I reluctantly told Leo, sorry, Leo, looks like I won't make it this time. Leo was understanding and said maybe next time, then politely said bye to us. Sigh, my little spark of love got extinguished by Vincent. With a harmless smile on his face, Vincent watched Leo leave, then immediately put on a grumpy face for me. I followed behind him, feeling annoyed, carrying my huge bag and boxes. He suddenly stopped, and I bumped into his back, dropping the box. I crouched to pick it up, and Vincent looked down at me, scolding, Are you that lost without having lunch with Leo? I snapped back, Leo and I haven't seen each other in years. What's wrong with having a meal? Vincent retorted, rare? Or premeditated? How is it premeditated? I stopped picking up the box, stood up, and faced him defiantly. Vincent curled his lips, a sign he was about to argue I know him too well after 3 years. No one survives his words. Before he spoke, I chickened out and avoided eye contact. To my surprise, he didn't say anything, just chuckled coldly. I was caught again. He wanted to see me back down, admitting to impure motives. This team building day ended with us parting on bad terms, but my secretary duties still required me to call a driver for him. It was one-sided. I was the only unhappy one. Back in my hotel room, I regretted it. I gave up too easily on a promising opportunity and ruined it. Never mind being an outstanding employee. If I really pissed him off, I might be an ex-employee real soon. But my mood lifted later that evening when Leo brought me some late-night snacks. He had swapped shifts with a colleague to be off the entire weekend here. Awesome, without Vincent around, I could eat with whoever I wanted. Being from the same school, we chatted for hours, wiping away the day's gloom. After my shower, I saw I had a missed call from Vincent. I instinctively called back, but he hung up after a few rings. Weird. The next day, I finally got to eat at the Western restaurant with Leo, having that steak Vincent recommended. Halfway through, I got a call from Liam telling me to pick up some fresh clothes for Vincent. He was hospitalized. This man is definitely a stumbling block in my love life. Leo drove me to Vincent's place to grab some clothes and then took me to the hospital. On the way, I worried that maybe I made him sick. But I quickly dismissed it. How could I possibly be that important? Besides, I've seen his health reports. He's fit as a fiddle, especially his heart and brain. To show my concern for the boss's well-being, I jogged into the VIP room, panting, to see Vincent. Liam wasn't there, and Vincent was lying within 4. He looked paler than usual, like a sickly beauty. The noise from me opening the door woke him. He glanced at me and tried to sit up. I quickly set the bags down and helped him up, placing 2 large pillows behind him for support. Vincent, what illness landed you in the hospital so suddenly? Acute appendicitis, he replied. Back in high school, my desk mate had appendicitis. He was in so much pain. Vincent must have been in agony last night. I was at a loss for words and finally said, "You must be hungry. What can I get you to eat?" Vincent slowly said, "Steak." A polite question, but oh boy, he's not shy, is he? I told him the doctors advised a light diet, no beef, and then ordered rice porridge from a nearby shop. While waiting, I pulled out my iPad to adjust his schedule. Appendicitis isn't a major surgery but still needs a couple of days of rest. I moved all the changeable appointments to after Wednesday, but he insisted he'd be back at work Monday. Looking at his pale face, he didn't seem fit to work anytime soon. I was about to convince him otherwise when Liam walked in, saying, "Mandy, don't listen to him. Move all his appointments, let him rest for a few days." If I hadn't run 3 red lights last night, his appendix might not have made it. So, the missed call last night was when he had the attack. Liam and Vincent are childhood friends and partners, a bond through thick and thin. Since Liam gave the orders, I obediently adjusted Vincent's schedule. After Liam left, it was just me and Vincent, awkwardly staring at each other. 2 days of rare rest, one spent on team building, the other here in the hospital. Ah, the woes of the working class. As I contemplated asking to go home, the admin sent me 2 photos. One of me rubbing my head while Vincent crouched, tying my shoe. Another of us on stage, briefly touching hands as he handed me the mic. The message accompanying the photos read, "Perfect match." I zoomed in and examined them several times, grudgingly agreeing with my colleague. Yet I still sent back an eye-rolling emoji just to play it cool. "What are you giggling about?" Vincent appeared beside me without warning, making me jump and drop my phone. By sheer coincidence, the screen froze right when I zoomed in on his hand details. Long, slender, perfectly proportioned fingers. Just beautiful. Vincent slowly bent down, picked up my phone, and lightly tapped it, discovering the 2 sneak shots. He didn't just tap the phone, he tapped my heart. So embarrassing. Vincent, let me explain." Vincent sat back on the couch, crossed his arms, and waited for an explanation. Honestly, what was there to explain? I didn't take the photos, I just admired them a little. Little Lisa was in charge of event photography and took them, planning to post them on our company's social media tomorrow. She sent me a couple of our photos for approval since Vincent, you're the boss, and your image matters. Vincent made a cryptic noise. Is that Lisa from admin? I quickly nodded. Sorry, little Lisa, your curiosity got the best of you, and now you're stuck writing a piece tonight. Otherwise, we're both in hot water. Inform finance that we're giving her a bonus this month. Wait, what? Bonuses for sneaky photos? I could do that job and snap 100 in a day. Still, I had to ask, under what pretense? He pointed at my phone and said matter-of-factly, for organizing a great event, excellent service, and good photos. And remember to tweet it. No fewer than 100 words. With a professional fake smile on my face, I really wanted to ask if I could get a bonus too since I'm innocent here. Nonetheless, I cheerfully complied, sure, I'll take care of it right away. I turned and called little Lisa, letting her know that her enthusiasm earned her high praise from Vincent, urging her to have the blog post ready tomorrow. Her wails of frustration felt satisfying. She shouldn't have been so nosy. Back in the room, we both let the photo incident slide. After a few work instructions from Vincent, I was allowed to go home. On my 2-day break, I didn't rest a bit. I collapsed into bed as soon as I got home but woke up at 5, unable to sleep again. So, I decided to make some porridge for Vincent. Taking care of your boss is a secretary's duty, right? He barely ate the takeout I ordered for him yesterday. He's quite the picky eater. When I arrived with the porridge, Vincent had just woken up. His hair tousled and eyes sleepy, he looked like a fresh college graduate, charmingly youthful. I ladled the porridge into a bowl, checking the temperature, and proudly handed it over. Try this, Vincent. Made from fresh millet from back home, it's especially aromatic. Added just a bit of brown sugar, it's sweet and delicious. I watched with anticipation, waiting for a compliment as he drank, but instead, he asked, Mandy, are you sure this millet porridge isn't meant for a postpartum recovery meal? Talk about a cold shower on my warm gesture. I got up at dawn to make porridge and now it's labeled as for postpartum recovery. Well, you sure drank it all. Continuing with my poker face, I replied, well, that's one way to put it. Anyway, it's good for recovery. And when you get discharged, I'll make chicken and carp soup for a proper boost. Vincent just went along with it, obediently sipping the porridge. Once cleaned up, I headed to the office. My boss might be hospitalized, but work should carry on as usual. Once I stepped into the office, curious colleagues gathered around, speculating whether there was something between Vincent and me. Especially little Lisa, her all-nighter didn't dampen her gossip spirit one bit. Everyone's chatter gave me a headache, until a colleague came to the rescue. Stop it, guys, Mandy has a boyfriend. They were having a candlelight dinner at our team event hotel on Saturday. The disappointment in the room was palpable, sighing at my apparent lack of ambition to latch on to Vincent. I stealthily slipped away and remembered to thank Leo for helping yesterday and offer to buy him dinner in return. Trading favors does strengthen feelings, right? Leo quickly replied, saying he'd pick me up after work for dinner, and I gladly accepted. Feeling good, I started my day, dutifully messaging the boss to ask about lunch and dinner preferences. Vincent's response was brief, no postpartum meals. I simply replied, got it, then took 2 minutes to pick him an easy lunch delivery. Without Vincent's interference, I coasted through the day. As soon as work ended, I grabbed my stuff and dashed out of the office. Leo was already waiting. Leo took me back to our alma mater. Shared memories can really strengthen bonds, maybe turning school ties into something more. Leo picked a familiar barbecue joint from our past, and the owner even recognized us. About to inquire about Leo's old girlfriend, she pivoted mid-question and busied herself with other customers. The mood got awkward, so I drank beer like it was tea. Leo broke the silence, mentioning his ex. She went abroad after graduation, and as the distance grew, their relationship faded, ending amicably. He asked, "What about you, Mandy? Have you been with anyone?" I casually shared my office romance story from senior year. It was a cliched affair. My ex ended up with a VP's daughter, and I only found out after they went official. Then I quit and became Vincent's secretary. Leo listened quietly but clinked his glass with mine. The ice was shattered as we enjoyed our food and beer. But then, a video call from Vincent interrupted us. I picked up, and before I could speak, he asked, "Where's my dinner?" Oh snap, I forgot. I only remembered the lunch order. Vincent looked visibly annoyed on the screen. Glancing at the time, it was 9:50, no wonder he was mad, he'd been starving. Deep inside, I wanted to tell him to use one of those delivery apps, but I chickened out. "Sorry, Vincent, I'll order it right now." Just then, I heard the owner calling, "Your skewers are ready." Vincent frowned, "You're out for barbecue while your boss goes hungry? Where are you?" With Leo across from me, I couldn't let on that I was merely a pawn of my boss. I had no choice but to get up and walk to the side of the road to keep video chatting with Vincent. "Vincent, I'm on the west side near the 4th Ring Road. Delivering your food isn't really doable. No traffic now, I can be there from the east side within an hour. I also want to taste the barbecue that's worth crossing half the city for. Are you trying to make things difficult? Is it funny to make me run around for something that could get done in 30 minutes? This delivery counts as overtime for me." I stood firm for once. I couldn't always be a pushover, right? But I regretted it immediately and quickly added, "Plus, it's not exactly good for your health to be eating barbecue right now." Vincent ignored my firmness and only responded to the last part, "Not good to eat barbecue means I should just starve. Triple pay, bring it over now." I caved under the pressure of triple pay. Hung up the video, asked the lady boss to grill a batch of non-spicy skewers ASAP. Then I apologized to Leo. He quickly paid and drove me back to the hospital. The car was quiet, like our stroll down memory lane back in campus days hit a hard stop with Vincent's video. How do you start fresh without reminiscing? Sigh. Leo finally broke the silence. "Vincent's behavior these past few days seems different, Mandy. Do you think Vincent might have a thing for you?" "No way," I stammered, "it's not possible. Vincent only sees me as a subordinate to be regimented. Plus, Vincent has a girlfriend. A real catch, rich and beautiful. Why would he be interested in me?" Later, on a small assignment, I passionately expressed my dedication to the company and respect for leadership, totally brown-nosing. I specifically tagged Vincent to look at it. Vincent instantly replied, "Read." Okay, feels like he's approving a memo royale style. Consider it done. Then found a florist, ordered a bouquet, made sure they deliver by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Gotta suck up properly. The next day, I went to the hospital with the driver to pick up Vincent. Judging by his spirits, he was back to his old domineering CEO self. As soon as we stepped into the office, the receptionist handed me a big bunch of roses. She gave me an ambivalent look. Can't be helped, a secretary buttering up to the boss tends to draw those looks. I can deal with it. But what's with the florist? I clearly said it was for a supervisor, and yet they hand me a fiery red bouquet of roses. Like what? When I delivered the flowers to Vincent's office, he was intensely focused on his screen. I put them on his desk and ducked out. Back at my desk, I was stunned. How come there was another bouquet there? Found a card in this bouquet, wishing Vincent good health, peace, and joy. Oh my gosh, that's the bouquet I instructed to send. Then where did the bouquet on Vincent's desk come from? Leo texted me then, "Did you get the flowers?" I called him up straight away demanding to know what he meant. He said it was to test Vincent's feelings for me. Touched by this overly genuine senior, but could he not tip me off beforehand? This mix-up isn't helping. I took the bouquet of lilies from my desk intending to swap them back unnoticed. Upon sneaking into Vincent's office, he looked up at me. Maybe I was nervous, but through his lenses, he looked like he could eat me alive. Standing there holding the flowers, I was torn. Finally, I squared my shoulders and said, "Vincent, these flowers are for you, wishing you good health, hee hee. Then, not waiting for him to speak, I quickly swapped the flowers and was ready to bolt. But he stopped me. You forgot something. Turning back, I saw a card in his hand wide open. I have good eyes and read the words on the card. Mandy, stay happy always, Leo. Great, my heart practically sank. Trembling, I reached for the card, but Vincent pulled it back, leisurely asking, Mandy, are you unhappy being my secretary? No, I'm very happy, really. Good pay, great benefits, kind boss, amiable coworkers, couldn't be happier. Really? Vincent continued fiddling with the card, half smiling. I nodded quickly to show loyalty. So you plan to return high pay and benefits with dating? I bit back my instinct to deny dating and said instead, is there a policy against employees dating? Of course not. I breathed a sigh of relief, but felt oddly lost. Vincent paused, then said, but why can't I be your dating prospect? I was dumbfounded. What kind of straightforwardness was this? Can't recall how I left Vincent's office. After he asked that, I fled. Looking at my reflection, my face was as red as the roses on my desk. Vincent isn't someone who jokes around. Does he really have feelings for me? Vincent had been off work for 2 days and had tons to catch up on, so much that he didn't leave the office at lunch. Thinking of his recent hospital stay, I silently ordered lunch and asked the receptionist to take it in for him. I wasn't ready to face him yet. Finished my day's work distractedly. Vincent had a dinner event tonight. Sent him a reminder text and was ready to slip out of work. But Vincent texted back with instructions to accompany him tonight. All right then, dating or not, attending events with the CEO is part of a secretary's job. Gotta stay professional. The driver focused on the road while Vincent and I sat in the back. No clue what was on his mind, but I was thinking the whole situation felt awkward, couldn't wait to bail. Used to be silently peaceful when we rode together to events. Now this silence feels torturing. Stealing glances at Vincent, he seemed unfazed like nothing happened. Boss's mind game is definitely strong. Made it to the venue and I got down to business, deflecting waves of toasts for him. While he was hitting it off with a stunning lady nearby. I'd never seen this woman before. Vincent didn't have many female friends, practically none. This girl was the first I saw him chat away with. Heard whispers around, could that be Chloe? She's back from France? Picking up where she left off with Vincent? I'd heard Liam mention this name, childhood friends with Vincent, possibly the girlfriend everyone talked about. Picking up where they left off threw me for a spin, made me feel a pang inside. Drunk and dizzy, I watched from afar as the two of them chatted away, a perfect match really, handsome guy and pretty girl. Vincent should be with a dazzling peacock, not me, just a little sparrow. I saw Vincent pull out his phone to show Chloe something. She glanced over at me before whispering in his ear, and Vincent's smile was just stunning. But geez, it annoyed me. That smile was never for me. He's got a girlfriend but still wants to date me, what a jerk. I checked the party, it was wrapping up, and there was nothing left for me to do. Time for the secretary to clock out. Usually, I take the subway, but I'm working late and can expense a ride. Why save that jerk money when I don't have to? I ordered a car, but it took forever to show up, even the rideshare apps are messing with me. So, I just plopped myself down on the flower bed to wait, watching the traffic pass by. Just then, someone sat down next to me. I turned to see it was Vincent. Why'd he leave his girlfriend to come here? Why are you out here? Where's your driver? Stay cool, girl. I'm the secretary. Focus on work, not sweet love I'll never have. Mandy. You haven't answered my question. Vincent stared at me, eyes fierce. My face felt like it was on fire. I played dumb. What question? He repeated, slowly, why can't I be your boyfriend? No point in hiding now. I took a deep breath and said, you have a girlfriend, right? That lady at the party? Vincent chuckled. You mean Chloe? I nodded firmly. The way he said her name was so affectionate. Well, you're not wrong. Admitting it so openly. Wow. I checked my phone, still no ride. I didn't want a moment more next to this jerk. Frustrated, I got up and stumbled away. He grabbed my arm, and I glared at him. Laughing, Vincent said, but that's not the whole story, let me explain. Here we go, more cliches. I held up my phone, saying, my driver's 3 minutes away, you've got 3 minutes to explain. Then I sat back down, letting him have his say. Vincent took out his phone and showed me his lit-up screen. The wallpaper was a photo of us from a team-building event, me grimacing as he knelt and tied our legs together. I spotted the company's watermark in the corner. He'd downloaded it from our company's social media. So, that's what he'd shown Chloe? As I stared at the screen, Vincent explained, Chloe and I are family friends. We grew up together, and our families tried to match us up. We gave it a shot but realized we're just friends. She has someone she likes, and well, I like someone too. It's you, Mandy. 2 minutes left. My heart was racing in time. I was hoping things would naturally fall into place, no rush. But then Leo, who you had a crush on, suddenly shows up around you. Blushing, I asked, how'd you know I crushed on Leo? Of all our company events, how many have you joined? Then you suddenly sign up for this one? I had my suspicions. Confirmed M2. He smirked, my guesses were right, huh? Did none of my little plans go unnoticed by him? I didn't imagine things would speed up like this. Vincent added, you were my little treasure, and Leo was encroaching on my territory. Treasure? Like a hot pot? Gimme a break. Vincent turned me to face him. Locked gazes, everything else seemed to fade away. Traffic, honks, all I could hear was my own heart pounding. Mandy, that answer now? 1 minute left. But the company doesn't allow office romances, I stammered. Which rule? Chapter 1, Article 7. Total BS on my part. Chapter 1, Article 7 actually says you can't argue with leaders and must follow boss's orders. Wow, this guy's memory. So according to company policy, you have to follow my lead. Dug my own grave with that one. Buried myself alive. So, boss, if I follow orders, can I still get that top employee award at year end? Vincent just grinned, depends on your performance. Ugh, the worst kind of capitalist. Finally, my ride pulled up. The driver asked, did you order a car? Looking at Vincent, I cheerfully told the driver, sorry, I'm canceling. My boyfriend's picking me up. What a relief. Dating the CEO, really? Who's afraid of that? Money and romance both in the bag, not a bad deal at all. I like him, and he likes me back. What a wonderful night. Someday, I went back to check the actual company rules. Found Chapter 1, Article 7, and angrily pointed it out to Vincent, liar. It says damages to company property must be compensated, nothing about following orders. Vincent replied, well, you've damaged my heart. How about compensating for that?